Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back. Our guest today is Henry Weingarten, Managing Director of the Astrologers Fund. Welcome back, Henry.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a huge pleasure having you back on. I wanted to get you on to talk about everything that's happening in the silver and gold markets. And before we started recording, you sent me, some really impressive slides that I want to share with everyone. They're up on the screen now. Of course, we've recorded episodes before, so there's the part one, two, three, four, five, and of course, this will be the sixth. And then, of course, here's the link to the Astrologers Fund for the Q2, which I'll put in the link in the description below as well.
Right, that's just what we did yesterday to talk about what's happening.
Perfect. All right. What was the first slide we're seeing here?
Well, the first slide is everyone invests by a certain philosophy. I'm a cosmic value investor, which means I have two things. I like to buy traditionally things that are undervalued, sell them, or stop them when they're overvalued. And I obviously use cosmic, in addition to fundamental and technical analysis, I use some astrological factors to guide my investments. So
Okay.
one of the reasons we were so bullish last year in gold and silver was because it had extremely favorable horoscopes.
Absolutely. And now this is the Astrologers Fund market approach. What are we seeing here?
Well, first of all, I think it's obvious that we have physical and economic challenges ahead.
Okay.
And for us, that means that one should be cautious rather than aggressive. The last 2 years being aggressive was a very successful philosophy. In 25 and the first half of 26, it will be less successful. The main point is that if markets should go down like they did in October of 22, that you should have money to buy, whether to be buy gold, silver, stocks, or anything.
Right. Okay.
And for the first time in 2 years, basically good stock picking is going to vastly outperform index funds. And if you just even take the first quarter, if you were trading it, the market going up and down, you made a lot more money than just simply buying it. And as you know, the markets went to 10%. We think later they'll go down more.
Right, right. Forecasting 2025 is as simple as these one and two, 3 points.
Correct. So we sort of what we think is upcoming is first, there are multiple crises in the first half of 2025. I think everyone would agree with that.
Absolutely.
The second, which is our view, uh, is that there'll be at least a partial resolution by mid-May. But once that happens, we see that the economy will be slowing and very recession-like. Now we're talking in a 12 to 15-month horizon. So already the first quarter, I think the economy is either slowed substantially or it's already slightly negative. So
Right.
we may get it as we get to the summer. If we don't, we're going to see we'll have it by next year. Now, this is something many of your readers are going to disagree with. This is our valuation of gold and silver. And let me just say that gold and silver can trade well undervalued for many years
Right.
or well overvalued for many years. So we think gold is just under 2,400, although it's gone up almost 100 points from the last time we spoke. So we break it up in four parts. The first as a commodity, which is worth about 1,000, which seems like, but it's only in less than a year that it's been over 2,000.
Okay.
As a currency, 23.55. Inflation, which is short term going up and then will go down, 2059. And here's the critical point. Above 3,000, gold is trading as a crisis. And that means, if I'm correct, that the crises are going to be reduced over the next 2 months, then gold is going to drop 100, 200 points, and we're going to see silver doing something similar.
Okay.
Regardless, we believe being long precious metals as both an investment and a portfolio hedge is a winning strategy.
Welcome to the Cayman Islands, a premier offshore jurisdiction where natural beauty meets financial stability. Here, your wealth is more than secure. It thrives in one of the most trusted and respected financial centers in the world. For over a decade, SWP has been the trusted choice for precious metal investors worldwide. Our purpose-built 6,000 square foot facility sets a new standard in precious metals storage. We are proud to be one of the only vault operators approved by the London Bullion Market Association. Beyond safeguarding your assets, we're committed to making a difference in our community by supporting local causes and events that reflect our values. As we continue to expand and innovate our services, we ensure that your wealth is safe and strategically positioned to shield you from the uncertainties that lie ahead. Strategic wealth preservation, trusted today and ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Now, again, our view is silver is only worth about 26 to 28, a little more as an investment, a little less as a commodity. We shorted it twice at 34. And we got about 10%. We think either 34 or 38 is as far as it's going to go. It's possible it will go further, but there is no shortage of silver. Everyone thinks of silver. If you take investment demand into account, then yes, there's a shortage of silver. But if
Right.
you simply look at it as a commodity, if you look at it as a monetary metal, there's no shortage. It's because there's a lot of investment demand, which is, of course, very positive. So we think it's overvalued at the moment. And while it's certainly a good thing on a long-term basis, I was a silver buyer when it was $4. And I remember people saying it's going to 20. And I said, you're crazy. It's not going to go to 20. And of course, it went to 20 and much further. And if you wait another 10, 20, 30 years, of course, it will go higher. But at the moment, it's overvalued. And therefore, we are somewhat cautious about it.
Okay.
Now, what we believe, and is that I rather buy wholesale than retail. So you can buy silver in the market at $34. I rather buy it at 12. You can buy gold at 3,000. I rather buy it at 1,200. So how do
Right.
I do that? If you buy a producing, profitable silver company, and I'll just give the first two, which you've recommended all year, which is Mag Silver, which is if you only had to have one stock in silver, would be the one I'd own. If you wanted two, it would be Abrasi Silver, excuse me, it would be
Abra silver.
Vizilla Silva. Actually, this is alphabetical. It should be Vizilla.
Okay.
Abrasi is something we just put on our list from Argentina. It's very good. Silver One is good. But let's take a look at the charts for a moment. So if we go another step, here's an example of Max Silver in the last year. Take a look at that line. Who's outperforming? Silver stocks are outperforming. And let's assume I'm incorrect and silver is not going to stop at 34, but goes to 38 or 40. You make another 10%. You're going to make 20 or 30% with Mag Silver. Now, this has not been the case in the last 2 years, but it's now becoming the case. So if we look at things from a 2 year horizon, you're going to see that good silver stocks are going to be buying and outperforming silver, and you're buying wholesale. So let's take a look at our other favorite one for last year. Do we have it here?
I just have
No.
Mag Silver and the next one.
Oh, all right. We don't have it here, but if you look at Vizilla Silver, which is another one, you'll see a similar chart that it comfortably outperforms silver. Okay. It's not in this. We'll go over it next time. So I want you to consider that if you own silver, yes, it's good to own silver, no question. It's good to own gold, no question. But on a basis for the next 2 years, you'll make more money by
Right.
owning good quality silver stocks, is my point.
Okay.
So just as a general view, and then I'll take a few questions,
Sure.
is again, we have great physical and economic challenges this year. I think we'll get through them. It will take 12 to 18 months. You should be prepared. And I think being aggressive as a short-term trader is fine. Being aggressive as an investor is not a good idea.
Right.
You must have the ability to buy if and when markets panic. Now,
Absolutely.
let's say gold drops now to say 2,400, which is probably as low as it could go. Think about 2, 3 years ago. Natural gas was trading at $10. We got out at 8. And then the next year it's trading at 2. This
Yeah.
this happens in commodities. They can drop dramatically.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Right.
We were trading silver. I shorted it at $49, went down to 18, lower. I'm not saying it can't go there. It's a very good portfolio hedge. But if you have a profitable company, now if gold and silver goes down, initially the stocks will go down. However, they are vastly undervalued. Gold stocks are trading as if gold is 1900 to 2100. Silver stocks are trading as if it's 18 to 22, which is unlikely to get there. If we go down that low, they'll still be vastly undervalued, and value traders will be buying it. So on a 2 year basis, I'm not saying 5 or 10, you'll make more money buying wholesale over retail.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to ask you a question. I guess, those charts that you showed us were really incredible. We really appreciate that, Henry. Now, one question before you leave is, what do you think?
Sure.
What are your thoughts on everything happening with, auditing the Fort Knox? Is the gold really there? Is the gold not there? What are your thoughts there?
It's almost definite it's there, but there's a different question. I don't think anyone was in the middle of the night taking unsealed gold. The question is, was any of it lent out?
Right, leased or anything?
For example, in New York, if you're in the Federal Reserve or HSBC, they have all the gold in a cage, and it can move from one cage to another, from New York to London, or from London to Paris, etc. But it's just simply moving from one cage to another. Now, I don't know if it was lent out, but I do believe it's physically there. It was locked up, it was audited. I think that's not an issue. Whether people, whether there's whether it was lent out, I don't know. I don't think so, but it's certainly possible. But remember, like the English around 2000 was selling everything under $300. I think it was 240, if I remember correctly. But it was ridiculous, absolute bottom, because unfortunately they didn't appreciate the value of gold. And certainly, only gold is as good as gold, and silver
Right.
is obviously the same sort of metal. It has great monetary value, and it also has great commercial value. And we're using it more and more in many things today. So it's
Yeah.
something you want to own. It's solid. It's real. So it's a good thing
Yeah.
to own.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, Henry. It's such a huge pleasure having you come down. I'm gonna put your links in the description below because I know you wanted me to share the Astrologers fund, which I'm gonna have the link in the description below for everyone. Please click it. Please check out Henry and his work. But Henry, again, thank you so much for coming down. It's such a huge pleasure having you down. And as the market develops, as always, really love having you on to
Right.
walk us through
And
everything.
and one last thought. If think about this, if we're correct that we're going into recession and silver is essentially 50% of silver is an economic metal, then initially the demand for silver will drop. Later, of course, it will go up. So why not take advantage of that? That's my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, Henry, thank you so much, and really love to have you back on in the future as the
Thank you.
market develops.
In May, when we decide whether it's sell in May and go away, is the next time.
That's right. Awesome. Talk to you soon, Henry.
Right. Thank you.